Hello all, my name is Sara Dietschy, runs with Peachy. Today we are talking about the new Samsung Note 20 Ultra. Ultra stands for Ultra Camera Bump. Holy smokes. This is compared to the S20. I love the new back. I love this color, it looks great. Are you a fan of the camera bumps? I don't know, because this was the Note 10. I thought this looked much better, but hey, it's about the specs. It's how the photos look. And we're gonna be testing this out today, along with the brand new DJI OM4, their latest gimbal for phones. Thank you, DJI, for sponsoring this video. I'm a big fan. This just came out today or yesterday, depending on when I get this video up. So I'm excited to have a first look of it. Yay gimbals. Okay, so there's some cool new features in that it includes this magnetic ring that you can keep on your phone. Now we've switched over to the Note 20 Ultra, 4K 24 frames per second. Pro video mode allows you to get into that 24 frames per second. And I just gotta be honest with you, when I got this phone, I was a little like, because it was off the heels of this guy. So this is Samsung's S20 Ultra. So now Ultra are the high level flagships, S20 and also the Note 20. And they're pretty pricey, coming in $12.99, $13.99. And when I was looking at the phone and looking at this display, it was gorgeous. I love it. I love that it's a little bit skinnier. It felt good in the hands, but then you turn it around and it wasn't just this camera bump and, you know, okay, all the 100 times space zoom. You can have that crazy zoom, which isn't super practical, but, you know, I can see some use cases and it was fun to test it out. But you have this huge camera bump and the design of it is just a little So when the Note 20 Ultra it came out with the colors and the matte back, it just was very refreshing, and it was a phone that is inspiring. It looks great, just like looks much better than this, that I was like, okay, I'm glad it looks better, but if we're gonna have some of the same issues with the camera, I'm not gonna get excited. But I was pleasantly surprised. I'm saying all this, I'm starting to rant, and that initially with making this video, I was like, okay, I'm gonna make this half a new, you know, the new DJI OM4 just came out, so it'll be half review of that, half review of the Note 20, because honestly, I didn't think the Note 20 Ultra was gonna fill up an entire video in regards to the camera, but I was really pleased that the autofocusing is better, and the 8K 24 frames per second is actually doable when you pair it up with something like the OM4, where you have the stabilization back, and you know, it just becomes like a really cool and practical rig to shoot really quality videos. And the audio that I'm getting straight out of this phone is really great. So I don't know if you can tell, but this video is just me kind of being surprised, like, oh, I really enjoy the images, the video I'm getting out of it. I was shooting in my new apartment with that, you know, wide 108 megapixel camera lens. That's definitely the star of this camera. And it was just like the pictures I was getting out of it were just amazing. And I would zoom in, and of course the display on this phone is really great. And I was like, whoa, this gives me almost like real camera vibes, right? With the bigger sensor, we're getting some more of that natural depth. And I was just really pleased. I was really pleased. It seems like they iterated from this, and they've finally arrived to something that's really good. That's why coming from this phone, and I keep going back to the S20 Ultra, I'm sorry. I was just a little not excited, because when people are spending over $1,000 for the flagship phone, like, you better not have those issues. And a lot of times people make these videos and, oh, just wait for the update, wait for the update. Well, guess what? The update to fix all of the camera issues in this phone never came, because it actually wasn't fixable, some of the minimum focusing distance things. So this is all just to say, yay, the Note 20 Ultra, the cameras are great, the phone experience is great. So much that usually I just cover the cameras for these types of phones, and I'm actually going to be making a part 2 about this Note 20 Ultra, because it's getting me excited beyond the cameras. I've always said, okay, Samsung phones, they really deliver when it comes to customization for photo video workflow, and I've always really enjoyed the cameras, but some things about Android and just, you know, XYZ, I can do a long list, just has never excited me compared to the workflow I have on my iPhone. The more I use this phone with the pen, fit it into my life, use Samsung DeX, I was kind of like, wait a minute, this is kind of fun.
You showed me how to dance love, so tell me what you're thinking of.
Here is the front-facing camera of the Note 20 Ultra. Image stabilization is decent. There's a little bit of a jiggle, but I'm gonna now throw it on the DJI OM4. Okay, so now it's on the OM4. Watch out, really steady footage. How's it looking? It's almost like, it's so steady, it almost looks weird that my head is just kind of like bobbing and the camera is perfectly steady. Yeah, this looks good. Okay, so I'm gonna flip it around because I'm a big fan of the rear cameras in these Samsung phones. So let's do that. Let's switch it to 8K, 24 frames per second, because that has absolutely no stabilization in it, so we'll really see the difference there. And there we go, the sun. Okay, now we're in 8K 24 frames per second, which is cropped in, so trying to stretch my arm as far as possible, but I don't think it's really possible to get a good selfie angle in 8K 24 frames per second, but hey, we're trying. And there's no image stabilization either, so I'm gonna put it on the OM4. See, this is where their tracking software is really gonna come in handy when using the DJI Mimo app when you're recording video, because it can track your face, it has active tracking, and it can keep the phone centered. Now, when I'm shooting 8K 24 frames per second, I of course have to use the Samsung camera because I think that's a little bit too much to ask for active tracking in that mode. But having this tripod is handy because it gives me a little bit more of an extension, gives me some more room. And me videoing at 8K 24 frames per second, videoing myself, it actually makes it possible. And I've already seen a few clips and it just looks so good. The fact that we have now a almost 3 times bigger sensor from the previous Samsung cameras and the S20 and also the Note 20, he's excited about the Note 20, it's a big deal. Having a bigger sensor on a camera is going to allow for that depth of field that you see in the back, the natural depth of field, not like computer vision software blur, you know, it's like real optical blur. So that's exciting. I think this is gonna look really, really good. Not the most practical with just handheld shooting, but you add an accessory like this and it all of a sudden becomes possible. It veered off a little bit there, but wow, what a camera bump. Okay, so many things to say about the Note 20 Ultra camera. You have a lot of customizability. Is that a word? That's something that Samsung is known for and why I love shooting video with their phones. Pro video mode is something that I'm in all the time. You can go in the settings and just drag it over to your menu, so it's right there for you to switch to 4K 24 frames per second. They don't have that option in normal video mode. I shoot all of my videos in 24 frames per second, so it's very handy. And also another thing, which is pretty cool actually, is you can change which mics you're using. Right now, we're using the rear mic because we're using the rear cameras. You can change it to the front mic if you're shooting selfie mode. Maybe if you want to get some of the more ambiance, you can change it to omnidirectional, where it's picking up everything. The front and rear mics are working together. But the coolest new thing is I'm using the Galaxy Buds. Yes, they're not the newer Beans, but I actually really enjoy how these fit inside my ear. They don't fall out. And you can change it to Bluetooth settings where, hey, the air conditioner is going in the back. Maybe if we use the mics directly from the Galaxy Buds, the audio is going to get better. So let's actually change to that now. Okay, and so now we are using the mic of the Galaxy Buds, no longer using the camera. So this is going to be super handy if the camera stays there. And well, I'm actually going more towards the air conditioning sound, so that doesn't help a bit. But imagine you're making videos, like social videos in the gym, and you're running around, and this would be way too far to capture the audio. I'm sorry if I triggered you guys for mentioning the gym. I know gyms really aren't open right now, so that is maybe not best case scenario. But I'm like all the way over here, and maybe I'm giving instructions, or I'm making a video, I'm making a TikTok. I'm doing the dances and you need the audio to be heard. How does it sound? I wonder if the mics and the Beans, I know they're not called the Beans, I wonder if the mics have improved. It'll be interesting to hear how it sounds. Okay, so y'all obviously saw the DJI OM4 in action in this entire video. Just a reminder of the new active track. It's really good when it comes to tracking your face. That only does that in 1080. Wish it could do it in 4K. Maybe it'll be an update in the future. Maybe. Has a lot of different modes in the Mimo app that are just really handy, really easy to use, like the hyperlapse, the different zoom modes, and again, you have the tripod to set up this gimbal if you want to do the moving hyperlapse, the moving time lapse. That's a lot of fun. I really enjoy the new magnetic setup, and that's how you connect your phone to the gimbal. It just makes it super quick, and you don't have to actually rebalance your phone with the phone grip. You don't have to worry about that. So really, it's you calibrate it once in the very beginning, and then you just throw it onto your gimbal, power it on, and you're ready to go, and it's good and balanced. So you have the option between keeping this on your phone and using it as one of those like ring holders to where it'll hold up your phone like that, and then it's also a grip for your phone. But again, I just use the phone holder since I'm using a ton of different phones all the time. It was just, yeah, really easy setup. We were running out and about in New York, and we were putting the gimbal in our pockets and doing things, so we actually had to recalibrate it twice. But all you do with that is you just put it on the tripod, find a flat piece of ground, hit the calibrate in the settings, and it literally does it in 5 seconds, and you're back to shooting. It folds down into a really small size, and again, you have all the shortcuts with the trigger and the different buttons. It's a double tap on the M to change from vertical to horizontal, which is great for social media. If again, you're doing IG stories, TikTok, having that ability to go vertical with it and have it balanced is really great. So the setup that we unboxed today, the DJI OM4, it just came out yesterday, I think, if I have the dates right in my brain, comes in at $149. You can check out my link in the description below. Thank you for sponsoring this video, DJI. And yeah, the Note20 Ultra, hello. It's a good phone. It better be. It's over $1,000, right? But you have to account for the rebates, for the upgrading. A lot of you guys aren't going to pay right out of pocket that $1,300. It's obviously a huge difference from the Note 10. I kind of miss the times when the camera bumps were only this tiny, because once you start actually using the pen, it's not as annoying. It can actually stay flat and it doesn't wobble like that. And we'll get into that in the next video. Let me know what you think about this phone in the description below. Did you like the photos? Did you like the video? Honestly, the 8K 24 frames per second, I was pleasantly pleased. A lot of times that's kind of a gimmick. Okay, we'll slap 8K on the literature. We'll get people excited, but no one's actually gonna use it. But we used it and it looked amazing. It looked great. It gets me excited for the next phase of phones that we're gonna see. Obviously, we have the iPhone 12 coming around the corner. Are we gonna see a bigger camera bump? Is it gonna be, the stove vibe? I've seen all the memes on Twitter. Really good memes out there. So those are, yeah, I'm gonna stop rambling. Sorry, sometimes I just get talking and I can't stop, but I'm glad this video turned out to actually be a proper video because I was nervous. Because yeah, in a recent video, you know, kind of opened up on how I've been feeling with things in life, and I've had video block for a little bit, and this video actually I feel like getting me out of the funk, because I actually had a lot of fun filming with this video, with this camera, with this phone. What is it? I don't know. The Sony a7S III is on my mind because hopefully they're gonna start shipping out next month. And it gets me just excited about videos again. I spent the entire last week just organizing my apartment and unpacking, and man, I was just in a funk. And I'm glad to be talking to a camera again. That last mechanical keyboard video that you just watched was literally 6 months in the making. 6 months in the making. I'm so glad it's out in the world and it's just over with. I hope you guys enjoyed that. But with that, let me know if you like this video. Hit that subscribe button down below for new videos every single week. And until next time, guys, stay peachy. Stay peachy. How is the video compared with the Note 20 compared to the Sony a7 III that I was shooting? Maybe I should just shoot with my phone for this channel. Screw cameras. Who needs cameras? Okay. Okay, bye.